Hey everybody, I'm done. Are you guys excited? So I thought I would just walk through all the pages that I finished. I think I had four more to go when we talked, or maybe maybe six. I don't really remember. But let's kind of walk through the pages that I finished, and excuse me. And then what I was going to do is kind of walk you through how I store and what I'm going to do to close up the December daily. I also want to talk about a few things that I bought this year that really did help me out, and things that I bought this year that I ended up not needing. So we'll just talk through that maybe. So thing number one is we left off at day 16. 17, I finally used this Be Merry. I had been wanting to use it for a while, and I just ended up using it as a page protector or as a page divider. So it's got the number 17 on it. And then I used another one of the page dividers, the cutouts. Like I said, absolutely fell in love with these. You see some more QR codes. This is the light show we went to. A picture of us at the location we went to it at. Super fun, just a page. I ended up loving these divided page protectors. They were just kind of a great jumping off spot. That's one of the things I'm going to tell you that I bought this year that I'm so glad I did was both the divided page protectors and the digital file so that I could size things correctly to print them out, so that I could size things to print exactly and cut them out. I'll remind you of the Spark page later. Um, but these, amazing. These little page protector doo-wah dickies things. The paper ones, they it was really hard. If you had to use more than one of them, it was really hard to put on there. If you can find a way to use a three-hole punch, it was always easier. So that would be two things. Page 18, I used another one of the 10 by 8 templates, the 6 by 8 templates. Those I used a ton of in this album and absolutely loved them. This was a simple 3 photo and a love and joy. Actually, I think this was a 4 by 10 love and joy template, and I just duplicated and put a 4 by 6 and a 4 by 4 photo. Did my journaling on here, added a little bit of washi tape, repeated that washi tape from over here. I have my wine brad and a star, and that is page 18. Page 19 is the story of us going to two different restaurants here in Connecticut that decorate a lot for the holidays. So I used the halls are decked um, template. Ended up taking, these were all individual strips. I took this and combined them into one big photo so that I only have 4 photos atop. And I changed the journaling to where it was also now the 4 boxes. Did that in Photoshop, but absolutely fell in love with this. So 2 pages here that were simple, all in Photoshop, just printed out. Like I talked about before, when you get to this phase of the project, it's okay to be simple. The next one is 20 Twinkle, and you can see I sewed. Another thing I did this year a lot more of was sewing. So I sewed a lot more on pages, really enjoyed that. And what I did is something that I've heard some people talk about where I just put red thread in my sewing machine, a lot of it, and left it in. I didn't try to change the color. I just decided I would always use red thread. Totally made it worth it. This is the story of going to the aquarium, the home for the holidays at the aquarium. And then I have pictures from the aquarium in here, which was a lot of fun. I think I've got. And this picture I ended up printing twice so that I could use it in my real scrapbook, my daily scrapbook. I did try to put just some paper on the back. This is a collage paper of Tim Holtz, and that Tim Holtz. That's not right. Is that right? Yes. Um, Collage paper is another thing I bought thinking I would use it because it would be cool. I used this is the only time I used it, and it didn't really work that great for me. So collage paper, not something that I really needed to use. The other thing that I will say is that I made this pocket, and I need to go back and do one of those things where you add the little hole because I can't get the pictures in and out, and I haven't done that yet. 21 we've seen, I left it alone. 22, It's another one of those page protectors. So the digital file allowed me to be able to cut it out in my Cricut. 23. I loved these these 4 or 6 3x4 pocket pages. Those were really fun to have in here, and that was something I didn't know that I needed until it was in there. So that's fun. Okay, I think we saw 25. Excuse me. So 26 was I used this 3x8 page protector. One of the older, I think this was a couple kits ago, presents, and did an under the tree tag. And then I did a simple pocket using just the 3x4 cards of some of the presents we got. So did that in there. Used an old, this was like 2 seasons ago kit journal card, and I had the main kit digital. And so I was able to print on that and print it out. And I sewed around the edge of this as well. Didn't have to because it was a pre-made pocket card, but I loved it. And that is 26. Finally used this little Santa Claus I've been hoarding for like 3 years, 3 groups. I don't know. Because this was from the year that the album was a ho ho ho, the Santa Claus, and I didn't get it, so it had to have been 2022. Because that was the year Santa Clauses were the big theme. Last year was Nutcrackers, this year was Gingerbread Men. You've seen 27. For 28, I did advent calendars. So I used the vellum piece on there, put a little Brad in the middle, and then I used the Posca paint pens. So that was another thing I bought that this is the only time I used it. I had seen Allie use these Posca paint pens. I really thought they would be cool. I purchased them thinking I would write all over my transparencies. This is the only time I used it. Really wasn't worth it for me. Um, and what I'm finding is the things that take a long time. So I didn't use the stencils I bought. I didn't use the mixed media I bought. I didn't use the Posca paint pens I bought. Didn't use the collage paper that required you to glue it down. I didn't have like time to let things dry. I needed to be able to do pages quickly. And those are the things I didn't use a lot of. So for me, that was the things that didn't get used. The things that did get used were the templates, the divided page pictures, the prompt pages, things that had a story ready to go. So, but for the advent calendar on the back, I just did a cute little flip out of the different advent calendars we had. So I'll start from the bottom. Belle got us a murder mystery advent calendar that we did all on Christmas Day in one sitting. That was super fun. John got another of the Hogwarts scenes, the Lego Harry Potter calendars. Um, I got Belle and my mom matching puzzle advent calendars, and they could do them kind of together but apart. And I got the Star Wars droid calendar with cute little Christmas droids. And of course, it's sitting next to my Jabba, who's just awesome. So just as a reminder, like what I talked about before, the reason I could cut this picture out so easily and size it is because I did have the digital files for these background papers. We saw this one, it's my little word Spark. I thought Spark went well with this particular design. We saw 30, which was my using the prompt papers. So prompt papers I used a ton of. I think I used almost all of them. Prompt papers, divided page protectors, those kinds of things. I used a lot. A lot of circles this year. Lots of fun. And then this is the end of my album. I have a full page photo. I think we talked about that's what I wanted to do. And I found this quote online. December Daily is about celebrating the season, finding the joy, being thankful for all the blessings we have in our lives. And that's how I'm ending my December Daily for 2024. I did also end up putting the, ooh, this is a chonky one. Chonky because I've used up to 31 that I haven't done in the past. That's a different thing. Chonky because I have a lot of bigger pages. And just fun. I did end up getting all of this in here, including the what the pages are, and then the actual calendar of what we did. So that was fun. And that is my December daily. I printed, is it gonna come out? I stamped the December daily 2024. And this is now gonna sit in my album. So thank you guys for watching. I think with the 3 videos I've put together, you'll see every page. If you have any questions, please put it down. And now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna talk through how I clean up and what I do to store some of my December daily stuff. I just thought I would do that as part of this. But if you are done, feel free to just like and subscribe and tell me what you thought of my December daily. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so the first thing I will say is I did buy a metal ruler on Amazon after watching a bunch of people, and this thing ended up being a lifesaver. So I think it was like 20 bucks to buy a set of 3. They come in different sizes. I didn't know that I needed it until I had it, so super handy. I also broke down and bought the hole punch that Allie uses. Another thing that I didn't know I needed until I had it. So those were 2 things that really came in handy for me. Um, totally love them, so I just highly recommend getting them if you don't already have them. Let's talk about the next stage of what I do. So the first thing I do is I have some old December Daily boxes. I have 2 of them, and I store the stickers and stuff in these 2 boxes, and we go through them every year. So this one is supposed to have trees and stars only. This one's supposed to have words and tags and numbers. So what I do is I'm going to go through that, and then anything that doesn't fit in here, they go in another box or they go somewhere else. And this is where I make hard choices about getting rid of things. So I'm going to put you on fast forward, and I'll put you on fast forward and do a voiceover because this is going to be tedious, but just to walk through me sorting these 2 boxes. And in the voiceover, I'll talk about why I got rid of some of the things I got rid of. Okay, great. I am back. So what you're going to see me do here is go through these first 2 boxes, and then you're going to see me go through all the other stuff. Now, in general, I will say I take sequins, I take alphabets, I take washi tape, I take things that are not specific to December Daily or that I don't necessarily need to keep in December Daily, and I put them with the other things. So the sequins, the enamel dots, those are all going to go in my sequins bin. The alphabets are going to go with my other alphabets. So although I store them with December Daily while I'm doing December Daily, I move them out. Now, I used to do that with tags, red and green tags, and then what I would find is I would get to December and I would have used, because of Valentine's Day, because of whatever, I needed a green tag, I would have used all these green tags. So I started saving some of the tags in my December daily stuff. Same thing with numbers. I really need gold numbers, red numbers, black numbers. So I save those in my December daily. Now, I did discover this year as I was going through, I now have more than enough gold numbers to last forever. I probably will not purchase the gold numbers again. I have a lot of the tabs with words on them. Of course, I used a lot of those. And I do have quite a few left over, like blank tabs. Some things I maybe don't need. So in this first box, I go through and I get all the numbers that are in here, all the tabs, and I take anything out that's not a tag, a frame, a word, those kinds of things. So this is words, numbers, and tags. Then the next box is stars and trees, and it's just stars and trees. There's so many stars, there's so many trees. I put them all in there. That way I can find them. And as I go through the other boxes, I add back stars and trees. Notice I didn't get rid of hardly anything. I did get rid of 1 or 2 phrase stickers from the phrase and sticker books that I've either had in there a long time, or the phrases aren't ones I'm going to use, or one of them had ink all over it. So then I go through my paper and kind of the other stash that I had. So you'll see here there's a star sticker that was just sitting there. I'm going to put that with the stars. You're going to see the flare. I'm going to put that with my flare. I also have a bin of just regular Christmas stuff that I do to make Christmas pages, like in my regular scrapbook. Some of the stuff might go in there. But I take all the stuff that I've had and I now put in the last bin the other shapes that are not tags or numbers or trees. And basically having one big bin of paper and the divided page protectors and those kinds of things, and then the three different kind of smaller containers, one of trees and stars, one of words and numbers, and then one of like other embellishments has really helped me a lot. The all of the paper, whether it's the 3x8 cards, the 4x6 cards, all of the paper that's like the prompt paper, the writing paper, all of that goes in one big huge bin, along with like those plastic divided page protectors, the paper divide the I keep saying divided page protectors, the attachers, page attachers, all of those page attachers, they all go in that big bin. Um, Originally, I had wanted to just put all of this in one in the container that it came in from Allie. It was too big of a stack. Now, here's this is my shame pile. I hoard the Allie Edwards December Daily paper. I hoard it. I tried really hard this year, and hopefully you guys saw it, to use as much paper as possible from her collection. I went through and I put all of the specialty paper in a brown envelope, but like that stripe paper, that rainbow stripe paper, it was gorgeous. I should have used it. I hoarded it because it was gorgeous and I only had one piece of it. This So Much Joy vellum that you saw, I've hoarded that for like 3 years. I love it so much. I need to use those papers more, and I'm trying to force myself to do that. So anyway, so now we have the last container to go through, which has got all my other like bits and bobs. Oh no, first we're going to go through. So I stored like the new stuff in divided page protectors. That's the right use of that word, in an album. And then that's where I would pull it from. I'm going to pull all of those out to put with the paper in the big bin. I didn't use 2024. I'm kind of upset about that, but I know because I did it this year, I can cut out the 20 and the 24 and use it as two different numbers, maybe as two tags. I'll do that later. This is always kind of a therapeutic process for me to kind of see what things I used, what things I didn't use, and remind myself that, I purchased these things thinking that I would use them. Like I had this huge plan, and I went through my trees and took pictures of all of the ornaments I bought this year. And I had this huge plan for those ornaments to do an ornament page, and it just never happened. It just wasn't a story that I ended up being able to fit into my December daily. So I'll probably tell that story next year. But if I don't, at least I have all these ornaments. One of the questions I get a lot is, do you ever pull from this for your regular December documenting? Every once in a while, like I will know, like one of those banners, you're seeing the one that says believe right there. Believe in magic. There was one that said words matter. And I used that and I knew I had it and I used that on a page. In my head, I knew I had words matter. And there was a certain page that either I was giving a speech or Katie was giving a speech or something. And I ended up using that. So you're seeing me here pull all the words out, all the stars are the trees. I'm dividing it up. Everything else is going in here. I don't get rid of a lot. I had those houses and I thought, oh, maybe I'll get rid of these houses. I didn't use them for a couple years. I think those are like 4 years old. I keep them. Maybe one day, maybe I'll have a house story to tell. I have that, I find your lack of cheer upsetting or something like that, the Darth Vader quote. I've used it 1 year. I bought two of them. Um, but I don't need to use it again. So this is on 4 times speed. This took me about, I want to say 30 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer to do. Um, but it's really therapeutic to just go through and get everything cleaned up, put everything away. I store everything in those big bins and I absolutely love it. So that's my December daily closed up and cleaned up for 2024. We will see you in 2025. Bye bye.